Hey there, hi there, ho there. Once again, I am JJ, and welcome to Disney Compendium Volume 22. It's a chronological look at the Walt Disney Animation Studios library of film. As I already said, I'm JJ, and over there is my uh, wonderful, wonderful co-host, who's only ditched me one time through this entire process, Nick. Nick, how you doing?
I'm doing good, JJ. I'm excited to talk about the mini adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
The many
Just,
adventures
just
of
little
Winnie the Pooh.
bite-sized adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Winnie the Pooh's Mega Micro Games. Uh,
Just get John Machida just narrates the whole thing.
yeah, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. That is the movie we're talking about this week in 1977, year of Star Wars, uh, and also Winnie the Pooh. But not really, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Well, I mean, also Smokey the Bandit, JJ. What? You will not. You will not scoff at Smokey the Bandit.
I will scoff at Smokey and the Bandit.
No, sir.
Winnie the Pooh. Who would you rather have? Would you rather hang out with Enos or no, Boss Hog?
No.
I know. I was trying to rattle down all of these like TV characters,
listen.
and then eventually get to Rabbit, but you cut me off. But
Boss Hog was Dukes of Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard, I know, and so was
Enos. Actually, was the truck driver. No, he was a truck. Yeah,
yeah, and but like nobody cared. Like you want to hang out with the Bandit, or do you want to hang out with Tigger? Come on,
this probably the Bandit, honestly.
Oh, come on.
I mean, like,
or Luke Skywalker.
Well, okay. I
wouldn't want. Of all the Star Wars characters to hang out with, and I think Luke Skywalker's the one that you want to hang out with.
If Tigger had a sweet looking like Pontiac Firebird, then maybe.
So what you're saying is that the Bandit is only interesting because he has a cool car.
Yes,
that's what I heard. That's all I hear. Is that there's nothing interesting about him other than his car.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
As he's trying to get what it was like. Was it Coors?
Like it was Coors. Yes, they're running Coors.
They're running Coors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Heffalumps and Whistles were chasing him across the Texarkana state line.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. You thought that Robin Hood deep dive was crazy.
Wait. I gotta look up something real quick.
Wait till you get to Smokey and the Piglet.
Okay, I just needed to make sure that it wasn't. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's Universal. I have to make sure it's Universal because if it's Fox, we've got something here.
Oh no!
But no, it is Universal. I assumed it wasn't. May 27th, 1977. Smokey and the Bandit.
Well, what if like they just like ABC's or Disney's just like, hey, we already gave you Al Michaels. So now here's Dan Patrick, and just give us Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, it's like but you only get like a character, but it's not Burt Reynolds.
It's not Burt Reynolds.
You get Cletus or something. Like you get Jerry Reed's character. I think it'd be fair enough trade.
You'd have to go for the sheriff, but yeah.
Well, yeah. Buford T. Justice.
Yep.
Which is what came? Well, now it's the Smokey and Bandit cast. Is Buford T. When did Walking Tall come out? Is he named after Buford?
I think Walking Tall came out like right before this movie or Smokey and Bandit, because that was like that period where you had like Walking Tall and like Billy Jack and those kind of like.
So I'm just one of those like, is he named after Buford Pusser? Is that the
I don't
Justice?
I don't know.
just like because that seems cruel. Like Buford Pusser is doing his thing out there, and then you name this bumbling sheriff trying to bring down. After.
I mean, it. Listen, I love Honeymooners, but it's arguably Jackie Gleason's best role.
This is boy, this is sets a world record for absolutely not talking about anything remote. 1977 is the only connection between these two. But hey, you know what? It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
We'll do it live.
Throw my papers.
Yeah, this came out in March of 1977, and it didn't come out by itself.
No.
It was a double bill. It was overall feature of The Littlest Horse Thieves, which I bet I would say that probably 95% of the people that would listen to this would have no idea about that. Don't even remember the movie. It's based off of where it's like in Europe, it's Escape from the Dark or something. Okay. But in America, the overall feature is The Littlest Horse Thieves, and it's like a 1910 coal mine town in England. So,
I kind of like Escape from the Dark better.
Yeah, it's a good name, especially considering it's about a coal mining. It's a good name. Like Littlest Horse Thieves makes it sound like it's a wacky Disney adventure, which, I mean, it's
like
not.
like Darby O'Gill or Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah, but it is not. It is about these kids trying to save these ponies that haul coal from slaughter. Like,
I almost wanted to just call it "Are You Escape from the Dark?"
Are You Escape from the Dark? Yeah. I don't know if Littlest Horse Thieves. It was never been like easily available. Like Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, one of the biggest franchises Disney has. Littlest Horse Thieves, you can get the DVD if you're a Disney Movie Club member. Like that's
actually, it's on Google Play.
Is it? What?
Yes.
Wow, look at that.
For $15.
Do not.
Don't do that.
Don't spend $15 on this. It's even shorter than Winnie the Pooh.
I'm trying to think who's in the. Alistair Sim is the only person I recognize.
Yeah, and Alistair Sim is. I love Alistair Sim. His
Geraldine McGuin's in it. Okay, I know her.
Yeah, Alistair Sim's Scrooge is my favorite adaptation outside of the obvious of the Muppets Christmas Carol and Mickey's Christmas Carol.
And of course, Alistair Sim financed the Spider Slayer, so it was
Smythe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, oh yeah. Okay. Whatever you say, sir.
Yeah. Sure. So back to Smokey in a minute.
There were two sequels.
Yeah.
It's
the third one.
The one didn't have the bandit. He was a cameo.
No. It was called Smokey is the Bandit. There was a rough cut of that movie where Sheriff Justice imagines himself as the bandit.
It's a terrible movie.
It's an awful movie.
It's not even that enjoyable, kick back and just laugh at this movie. It's just I just want to watch Smokey and the Bandit instead. How could you just watch that again?
I mean, if you want to watch a terrible, cross country, let's watch Cannonball Run.
Yeah,
just watch Cannonball Run if you want one that's.
If you're gonna watch a bad car movie, there are dozens that you could choose from.
Burt Reynolds has got a ton of them.
Yeah, you could just kick back and watch a Gumball Rally if you really need to.
Now I kind of want a Winnie the Pooh bootlegged movie.
Yeah, just a sequel to Christopher Robin where Ewan McGregor is.
Pooh, we can't sneak honey across the Texarkana state line and back in 72 hours. I say it can be done, Christopher Robin.
That's an insanely good Sterling Holloway impersonation. Like your best yet. I guess we can actually start talking about the movie. Probably.
Yeah, why not?
I think so. So the history of this movie is most of us know it as The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. However, that's not how it originally was released. It was originally 3 shorts that were released independently with different movies throughout history. So, and they were just eventually they compiled them. I say they filmed, but animated
Right.
little combining pieces to sort of fill in the gaps of putting 3 movies into one, and then filmed a little 4th segment for the very end of the movie with the epilogue, and released it as Many eventually put on. So this is, we talked about how the Jungle Book was like the last feature that Walt Disney had his hands on. Like technically that's true, but also technically it's not particularly true because this movie came out after all of that. And Winnie the Pooh and the what's the first? I always forget what the actual titles are. I think the first one is the Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree.
Yeah.
Came out in February of 1966.
The blustery day.
And then in 1966, Walt Disney was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
Blustery Day came out after his death, but he worked on it. And then Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2 obviously came out, but well after his death.
Quick question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever actually read the A.A. Milne book?
I have not.
Me either.
And I know this is just sort of Winnie the Pooh is just sort of, there's no reason for me to read them because I love these movies and I've seen them many times, and I don't think I'm gonna for completionist sake probably should, but also it sounds like tonally they're spot on.
Yeah. I mean, because I'll when you go to like Barnes and Noble or wherever, you see like, oh, they have the classic Pooh toys.
Yeah.
And the class, and those are cute, but like that's not the Pooh I know. Like my Pooh is like this big yellow, rotund cherub guy.
Yeah, with a little red T-shirt. Like even the early Poohs, like it's the little red T-shirt is like almost just as iconic as it being just a little rotund yellowy gold bear.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess we could start with the first short, which is Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree.
We got to talk about the opening song though.
Oh well, yeah, but the most okay. So this is another Sherman Brothers joint.
Yes.
And again, them just knocking it out of the park. Like all of the music stands out. Like anything that has lyrics stands out in this movie.
I mean, okay, so you think of the Winnie the Pooh song.
Oh yeah.
And like as far as like recognizable Disney songs, it's 5. It's got to be in the top 5.
Well, I was thinking about it earlier because I was thinking we will shove this in there. I think if you were to have, because let's be honest, Winnie the Pooh is probably one of the singly most iconic characters that Disney has.
Absolutely.
And also one of, I'm using the word exploited, but that doesn't necessarily mean necessarily negatively, but he's obviously one of the most exploited Disney characters. Like
utilized.
They utilize him for everything. If you were to this is the Mount Rushmore of Disney. Like you have 4 heads on a mountain. Obviously, Walt is one of them because he's just as iconic of a character as anyone. Mickey, Winnie the Pooh, and I would say Tinkerbell, to be perfectly honest, because she became sort of an iconic character overall. Like she's the face of the theme parks in some instances. Like the TV series, she would greet them, flying around on screen with the pixie dust and stuff. Like I don't think that would be too far out of reach to think that would be your Disney Mount Rushmore for like iconography.
I mean, so it's kind of a quick thing. Like when I went to Disneyland for grad night when I graduated from high school, and they had these little graduation beanies you can get. One was Mickey and one was Pooh. Yeah. Those are your 2 choices. And the fact that Winnie the Pooh is like kind of seen by Disney themselves on the same level as Mickey.
As Mickey,
yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's easily number 2. In this thing, like outside, like you take Walt out of it because obviously Walt is like you got Walt and Mickey probably the same level, and then Pooh is right there. If you want anything, you can get Pooh's face slapped on it in some way, or like any of the characters, like Pooh, Tigger. Like Tigger is just as every bit as big a pig as Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
Like he's everywhere. Like so, um, but we're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's like let's get back to the actual movies themselves. So yeah, Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree came out in 1966.
Hmm.
It was the featurette. It was the little short to play before the Disney movie, The Ugly Dotson. uh,
Boy, does it ring a bell?
yeah, I mean, look, it's basically Marmaduke, and I'm not joking.
Did it have Dean Jones in it? Because almost all of them did.
You want to know?
Yeah.
Absolutely, he was the
Of course
star.
it did. Of course Dean Jones was in it.
It's Dean Jones and Suzanne Plachette.
Mm-hmm.
And it features a Great Dane who thinks he's a Dachshund. So again, it's Marmaduke. It's a big dog that thinks he's a little dog, and it's based off of a book. And yeah, it was exactly what you expect
Mm-hmm.
from the era of Disney when they were putting out here. So
Hijinks ensued.
Hijinks and Chin with Dean Jones,
Yeah.
which like the entire live action '60s of Disney. Like, hey, Dean Jones, Dean Jones, Dean Jones, that darn cat, monkeys go home, Blackbeard's ghost, the love bug. He's just whatever. It's the '60s.
Shaggy Dog.
Yeah, Shaggy Dog, $1 Million Duck. I think even yeah, obviously all the Herbie movies. And, yeah, it's just he was there. It's
just him being perplexed by animals. Like,
him just being confused about the world around him at all times.
Yes.
So yeah, Ugly Dotson, Marmaduke, early Marmaduke movie, which is not
Marmaduke. Marmaduke.
So there's not much. The thing that's great about this movie is that there's not much to talk about. It's 74 minutes long. It's not that long. Like the story of Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree is that Winnie the Pooh wants honey, and he's gonna get it. So it's him just trying to get honey. He hears a bee and goes off and find the bees because he knows that where bees are, there's honey.
Yeah. The thing I always remember from this, obviously besides disguising himself as a honeybee, is his little daily affirmation in his mirror, where he's just kind of talking to himself,
yeah.
Oh, I'm hungry. Oh.
Yeah, he really is like the Saturday Night Live, like I like you. Gosh darn, people like
smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
Yeah, exactly. It's like he rolls around in a mud puddle to make himself look like a little rain cloud.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh donning blackface, essentially.
Just Pooh, the bees aren't stupid.
Yeah.
Why? It's not a muddy bear. It's just a bee.
Yeah, and I do like how his color slowly starts returning through the animation. Like when he's on the ground, he's muddy and completely black. By the time he's going up, he's just kind of brown. And by the time he's up at the top of the tree, it's like you can tell, like he's just a dirty version of his normal self. It's just like
Pooh just rolls around the mud like he's trying to disguise himself from the predator.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't work. I mean,
no, because the predator could see him.
Yeah.
I'm here. Kill me. Here I am.
But I do like the sticks his hand in there to get the honey. Yeah. And that scene always gave me anxiety when he pulls his head out covered in honey and bees.
Yeah.
It gives me anxiety.
I feel like that scene inspired the movie Candyman.
and so he doesn't look, so he just is talking to this single bee as if there's only one bee in the hive. And he sticks his hand in there and he pulls it out and he
Yep.
hides it behind his back. And then he just shoves his whole hand in his mouth, covered in honey and bee, without looking at it, and then starts Looney Tunesing out, spitting out the bees.
And like the
Yeah. Really, really playing the role of the fact that he's a teddy bear because, they're rattling around in his empty head.
yeah,
Like he's shooting them out of his ears and they're
a,
bouncing around in there and stuff.
a bear of very little brain.
Yes. And they make
What?
sure they say that to you several times to him directly.
Like this is who you're dealing with.
Yeah, he's just a grade A moron. It's okay. But he means well. So it's
JJ, I have a question for you.
Uh-oh.
And I just kind of want to know if it's just me or if you concur. Does Winnie the Pooh make honey look better than it actually is?
Because
it looks like nacho cheese.
Yeah, it looks and not like it, yeah, the movie theater ballpark nacho cheese.
Yeah,
it's just that incandescent yellow color.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen the Christopher Robin movie.
Of course.
It really hammers home in that how unhoney like honey is in the cartoon because he's actually going fist deep in his mouth with honey and he just covers with this clear goofy substance and you're just like, oh, I don't like this.
That's in the Christopher Robin movie where he's eating the toast and the honey on it.
He's just like, oh no,
it looks like he just got a really bad sinus infection.
It's just like, oh, I don't like this. That is a dirty, sticky, gross bear. Honey never looks. The only time honey looks sticky is when Tigger first starts eating it.
Yeah,
in this movie. It's the only time it ever sort of vaguely resembles honey.
Right.
But also, I mean, it's spelt with a U, so I don't know. Maybe it's not. No, but yeah. So Pooh's up there with his little balloon too, which is not good for him because obviously the balloon pops. It doesn't get popped. It gets untethered. Yeah.
He asked Christopher Robin for a balloon. He's like, "What for?" He's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pretend to be a bee." Cool. Here's your balloon.
Yeah. And then it just him trying to get Christopher Robin to oh, it looks like rain.
Tut tut, it looks like rain.
That bee that he gets honey on and he dive bombs into the mud and starts skipping around in the mud. This is upsetting. That bee, that bee's dead. I mean, it's not. It gets back up, rolls his fists up with an angry face as Christopher Robin is taunting him, essentially.
That is an ex-bee.
Yeah.
But when we were kids, my sister and I, whenever it rained, my mom would go "Tut tut, looks like rain."
Yeah.
And so that thing is always kind of stuck in my head.
Tut looks like it's so much of this. I still say TTFN.
Yep.
There's so much of this. Doing stretching or something.
Mm-hmm.
You're up, down, touch the ground.
I actually, when I was a kid, I think I must have been 4 or something like that. But I had a box of Fruit Loops, a 45 with Winnie the Pooh exercise routine came out. And I would have my mom put it on. I would do all these little calisthenics to Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
It's Winnie the Pooh. It makes you, but I do like that Winnie the Pooh just realizes he admits defeat with these particular bees.
This ain't gonna work.
Yeah. He's like, these are the wrong sorts of bees. Okay, Pooh. Just take the L, buddy. Just but then we are introduced to your favorite character, Nick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Nick's absolute favorite. He was saying nothing but nice, G-rated things about Rabbit off the air. Rabbit.
Listen, there's parts of me that wants to like I see where Rabbit's coming from. Like, this bear ate all my honey. Now he's, blocking a hole in my house. Okay, I get it. But the way he handles it's bad. And then and then later on in this cartoon,
Yeah, yeah. No,
I just,
when we get to, when we get to short number 3, like Rabbit is Rabbit is anxiety in like a nutshell. Like it is just worried about everything. He hears Pooh there and tries to trick Pooh to convince him that he's not there.
yeah,
But once Pooh's there, he gives Pooh all of his honey.
yeah.
And it's just like, whatever. Here you go. Just
I feel like
has my honey.
Rabbit's on the Nextdoor app a lot.
Yeah, he's being friendly, but he's going on next door and complaining about his Mr. Sanders.
I saw this donkey walking by today. I'm not sure what he was doing.
I just want to say that Eeyore is my favorite character.
I think he might be mine too, but perhaps for the wrong reasons. Just like, man, I feel you, Eeyore.
Just like everything's constant. Like, well, thanks for noticing me.
Yeah.
That's all. It's like, hey, you said hi to him. That made his afternoon. That's the nicest thing that's happened to him. Especially since you just destroyed his house. But
and then of course it helps that later on that Peter Cullen voiced Eeyore.
Yeah.
And so it's like, two of my favorite characters ever.
Yeah. And then in Christopher Robin, it's Brad Garrett.
Which is a good choice.
That's a very smart choice if you're going to be casting him in 2019.
Especially since Brad Garrett was Big Dog. That was my first exposure to him. In Two Stupid Dogs, he was Big Dog. Yeah.
Yes, he was. And what much better casting of him as Eeyore than him as Krang in the second Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Nickelodeon live action movie.
Never seen it. Never will.
Yeah, never will. But that's obviously beside the point.
Yeah.
Pooh eats way too much honey in this scene. Way too much honey. Jars and jars of honey. I'm sick watching him eat all of this honey.
Let me ask you a question. Of all the shorts in this film, this is the most iconic, right? This is the one that everybody remembers.
I think it's funny because I think like everyone knows A Blustery Day simply from its title,
right?
More than the short itself, because that short is less about the blustery day and more of the repercussions of what happened on the blustery day.
Right.
But this one, like in terms of just scene for scene, is the most like, it's because it's the first one and it's it's the longest one. And with the exception of all the characters are there minus Tigger.
Right.
And, it's it's the one that you probably saw the most because it's the first one and you're a very, very, very young child and like you have the attention span of
a gnat.
Yeah, this very, very small dog. And so it's you watch the first one and you're like, okay, I'm gonna go play Super Mario now.
But this is where we're talking off the air where this is where we first get introduced to Gopher. And talk about how fun a character he is.
I love Gopher. So the fun thing about Gopher is he's not in the books, and he tells you that in the movie.
Yeah,
which is absolutely phenomenal. Like Disney stuff doesn't break the fourth wall a whole lot. Occasionally, but by and large, no, because they all want to represent like truth stories. They want you to feel like you're reading a story, and once you break the fourth wall, it's not telling a story anymore, and that Disney is trying to tell. So this one, Gopher specifically says that he is from the book, and Pooh reaffirms it later.
See, whenever he says I'm not in the book, I always thought like he meant, he's not in the phone book, so you can't look him up in the phone book.
Yeah.
Like
and that's, I mean, at the end of the day, that's the implication. Like, it's supposed to make you think that, but they really are just breaking the fourth wall. Because throughout the movie, they're breaking the fourth wall all the time, because they reference the fact that they're in a book
Yeah.
constantly.
Oh yes, like one part in particular.
Yeah.
And then Gopher yells at Pooh for not saving his game before he turns it
Yeah,
off.
pops up out of there, and it's like you hit reset,
Yeah.
and look what happened. And then you're stuck there for 4 minutes while you
Yep.
have to read text.
Well,
Just skip
he
past.
berates you.
Yeah. But yeah, Gopher's wonderful character in this. But yeah,
His lisp is great.
yes. And I do like at one point Winnie the Pooh makes fun of his lisp, and he's like, "You should get that speech impediment looked at." um, but yeah, Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's door. He ate too much honey. He got incredibly fat, and now he's stuck in the door. Uh, and by door we mean hole in some dirt. But
Yeah.
it's a rabbit hole, so
Yeah.
literal rabbit hole. Um, so Pooh's stuck there, and Rabbit is losing their mind. I don't know if Rabbit is Rabbit.
Rabbit's a guy.
It's a guy, right? Yeah.
I used to think Rabbit was like a neurotic old woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, Rabbit's a he.
Yeah. Just a neurotic dude. But yeah, so just absolutely losing his mind. Trying to get everyone to help him out to get Pooh out of there.
And then he tries to make the best of it, which makes it weird.
Yeah, it gets super, super weird because like he sees Pooh's butt in the mirror.
And he's inspired.
Well, first he just tries to get rid of the mirror, which, like, that's a bold move. Like, you gotta get rid of the mirror. So as long as I don't turn my head slightly to the right or left, I'm good. I just look this direction. There's no bare ass there. But instead you get him pulling on the frame, and the frame comes off. And then he gets inspired because he sees Pooh's butt through the frame and decides to just shove the frame through his butt. Yeah. Framing his butt, just hanging out at the door. He puts it in a bad way first, and so he rotates it to be portrait instead of landscape, which made things better for him.
Rookie mistake there, Rabbit. Nobody wants to watch your Instagram videos. You're just going to hold it the wrong way. Then he puts a doily and some flowers on it.
A pot on his butt. And she's like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
You know full well that doily and pot aren't going to stay there. Like,
but at this point, I don't care. Like, go ahead, Rabbit. Break your belongings, you dope. You stupid animal.
But yeah, it's fun. But yeah, that's when everyone tries to figure stuff out. Yeah, like Owl makes his appearance to try to help. And then Gopher shows up. I do like Gopher, where he's like, first things first, you gotta get rid of this bear.
Yeah,
that is the situation.
And he's like, yeah, dynamite.
Yeah, it's like, well, how much will that be? What do you
give estimates?
Yeah, like, well, how much was it charge? Oh no charge, only cash.
Like, what, Gopher?
Yeah. So, Gopher was his original intention was to be Piglet.
Okay.
They weren't going to have Piglet, and they were going to use basically to make it a little more like Americana-y. So they went with Gopher. But obviously that didn't last because you get introduced to Piglet after this. But again, these were released independently from one another, not as a full movie. But yeah, he basically it's weird. Like he's mounted Pooh's like it's a
hold on. Okay, yeah, it's like, be careful where you going there.
Yeah, like it's a deer head in his house. I hate it. It's
he just draws on Pooh's ass.
Yeah,
let's just say it. He just draws a face on his butt.
Yeah.
Looks like a Willy he just draws.
I do like the he gets the flowers. They like Kanga and Roo give him the flowers, so as he's just drawing on him, the sneeze. ruins his drawing.
JJ, real quick,
Okay.
Clint Howard was the voice of
Rue.
Rue. Okay, yeah,
Clint Howard.
that's super weird, right?
Yeah, but but remember, like the Howards were child actors, so
Yeah,
it's
but Rue's
weird.
adorable. And
It's weird in like knowing what we know now and what Clint Howard turns into in the future.
the monster from Basket Case is what he turns into.
Yeah, yes, or the ice cream man movie.
Oh God, yeah, but he was like
Yeah,
a child actor, so yeah.
yeah. Him and yeah, the Howards were just cute child actors, and as time was not kind to them visually, one of them was able to cash in and on his on being a director, the other one was able to cash in on
His brother being a director.
his brother being a director and looking terrifying.
Yeah.
Like Clint Howard had his cameo in Solo because Ron obviously ended up taking over for that. No, don't need much makeup on Clint Howard. I'm sorry, Clint. I'm not trying to be mean, but they didn't put much makeup on you to be in a Star Wars movie, to be an alien.
You be nice to Mr. Needle Mouse.
But,
So the strategy is let's just starve Pooh.
yeah, yeah. It's like, and then Gopher is on Night Watch.
Yeah,
and is about to feed Pooh because he's an absolute idiot.
Yeah.
And then that's where you get the "Don't feed the bear" sign.
Don't feed the bear.
Yeah. Um. But then like next morning situation, Pooh just nudges a little bit. So here comes everybody to come yank and pull Pooh Bear out of the hall.
Yep.
Yay, Pooh is freed.
It goes flying right into the honey tree.
Right into the honey tree. Just funk. Scares all the bees. Scares all the bees away. Yep, scares all the bees away. He's trapped in the honey tree and is just going to town.
Yep.
Like that's like it's one of those things you see that it's like that's not it's not how that works.
No, that's yeah.
In this situation, honey is tree magma. It's like sap.
Yeah. It's just like
yeah, it's like this weird volcano inside of this tree.
It's like
a pool of honey that's like 3 feet deep.
Like he followed, like he got ejected into a fondue pot. Looks like it's like
it's funny. It'd be funny just get stuck in there and there's the Keebler elves.
Isn't that photo like on the Pooh ride at Disneyland?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the Pooh ride is just the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah.
All of this entire movie makes a presence known in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
We'll get to that, obviously. So yeah, you get that, and again, it ends. It's a book, and it ends as a book. So it's like, hey, we got to get to the next chapter, Pooh.
We kind of glossed it. The narrator. Bagheera.
Bagheera. Yep.
Yeah. No, not the character Bagheera, but the actual.
No, it's Bagheera. He's talking.
Okay, he's there. Yeah.
If you listen to our last episode,
right.
Canonically, this takes place in the timeline.
Bagheera's standing there like in a like in a dimly lit room with smoking a cigarette and like with his blinds half open, like I'm the narrator. I'm the last narrator.
Yeah, he was also in Sword in the Stone as actor.
Yeah.
So had a good run of I forget Sebastian
Cabot.
Yeah. So I can't remember. I'm like it could very easily be Cabot for all knowing these names, but Cabot.
Yep.
Yeah. So very very fun short, obviously the most iconic of the Disney Winnie the Pooh shorts.
There's another one later that is close but not.
Yeah, like I said, I think because so the next one is Blustery Day,
right?
Which, like I said, it's probably It's probably like title wise. I think people know that one because it's the one that stands out the most. Like
Right.
it's because like when the wind starts kicking up, you can't help but say, "Oh, it's a blustery day today,"
Yeah.
kind of thing. And it's mostly because of this one. Um, so a blustery day. Its initial release was 1968,
Mm-hmm.
December of '68, and it was with a movie called The Horse in the Gray Flannel Suit.
Starring Dean Jones.
Guess what?
But
Yes, it is starring.
of course it is. Of course it is.
It's also got Kurt Russell in it.
Now we're getting to that era.
We're getting into that era.
That era, okay.
Yep. And Fred Clark was in it, and it was
Okay.
one of his last movies. Um, and I have never seen it. I just know. I just know this part of it. I just know Dean Jones is the star, and it's came out with Winnie the Pooh. That was
Join us for our podcast in about 4 years when we talk about like weird ass 1960s and 70s Disney live action movies.
They get so. Some of these are just wild. Like like we said, the last one, The Ugliest Dachshund, or the title alone makes you go like, wait, what?
Yeah. I mean, I unironically like Darby O'Gill because I liked Sean Connery. And him trying to sing is a hoot.
But yeah, so blustery day. It's about a windy day.
Yeah.
Uh, it's this one actually, a blustery day is the Academy Award winner,
right,
of the three. It won the Academy Award for that. But Tigger 2 was nominated, the next one, but it didn't win. But Blustery Day won.
Yeah. Do you think it's also called Blustery Day because we're introduced to Owl and his he's a blowhard?
No, but
okay. Like him just going on about my uncle did this thing. All right.
I like this one because I was reading the information on it. It's like this short is based on 7 A.A. Milne Winnie the Pooh stories.
Oh God!
Like what? But I guess at the same time they're just short little things. So it's like, yeah, it's like chapter 9, chapter 2, chapter. It's these weird because it's 30 minutes and little short things are very small stories and little snippets of Winnie the Pooh's adventures, which aren't really adventures, they're just day in the life kind of stuff.
The everyman tale, Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. But the reason why this short is iconic, and I would probably say the more iconic of the three, simply for one reason and one reason only, and it's the one with Heffalumps and Woozles.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that is a big thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and it introduces Tigger and everything. But it is the middle one. It's the sophomore one. It won the award. But the story overall is more empty than everything because it's just okay, a windstorm and Piglet is blowing away, so Pooh saves him. They wind up at Owl's house. Owl's house gets destroyed.
Then Pooh has that nightmare.
Then Pooh gets. Well, first you also have Eeyore agreeing to find Owl's house.
Yeah.
New house, which it's that you show a gun and the first scene you have to use it by so it comes back that you are eventually lots of things happen. Fires the gun at the end of this.
I think I talked about this back in our Dumbo episode where Heffalumps and Woozles reminds me a lot of Pink Elephants on Parade.
Yeah, it's all very much cut. It's cut from the same cloth. I think
Yeah.
Pink Elephants on Parade is scarier, but
Oh yeah, no,
no,
absolutely, it's scary.
Heffalumps and Woozles, not without its upsetting visuals. Uh,
It's more psychedelic.
yeah, it's much more a product of the '60s.
Yeah, like
uh,
Timothy Leary's like, yes, this is the scene.
um, uh, it's like I do like that Owl starts telling stories, and you actually get a page count essentially.
Yeah,
You can see it goes from page 41 to page 62. So, and then once you get to page 62, it's nighttime. Uh,
you know, and I think this is why this movie, the way the Pooh, the stories in this movie in particular stand out
yeah,
because we all know an owl,
yeah,
and we all know an Eeyore, and we all know a Tigger, like that
yeah,
Type A personality. Like, all right, you're
yeah,
fun to be around, but please
yeah,
stop. Um,
yeah,
and we all know Pooh, and we all know Piglet, and so it's kind of like these are characters we know in our lives, and so that's why this movie kind of resonates with people of my age and JJ's.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Um, so now here's page 62 that we get to, and you're introduced to Tigger.
Yes.
When Pooh hears stuff, noises from outside, and then in bounds Tigger pouncing on Pooh.
Yes.
Introductions. Uh, the iconic, wonderful thing about Tigger's song as his introduction once Pooh wants to know what a Tigger is.
The bottoms are made of the rubber. The tops are made of the springs.
Yeah. Um, and he eventually remembers why he's there, and it's because he's hungry. And that's where you get the Tigger joke of, uh, well, I've got some, well, there's honey. Oh, honey is what Tiggers love best. Like, there's always the joke of that's what Tiggers do best, even though clearly.
Yeah.
uh, so this is what we were talking about earlier with Tigger gets into the honey, and the honey. This is the time the honey looks sticky, like
Yeah.
he's eating it. He's all in there. It's all like stuck to his mouth and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Tiggers hate honey. He pushes it away.
He's like, but you just said okay.
Yeah, and this is when you get the stupid Tigger getting in an argument with the mirror, essentially.
Yeah.
Forgot about that part. Uh, hiding from hiding from himself and trying to scare himself, not knowing what a mirror is, not knowing what he looks like clearly.
Well, I like how like Pooh's supposed to be this dullard, but he's clearly more aware than Tigger is.
Yeah,
I think that, again, like Tigger is just that person who just like they're wrapped up in their own stuff,
yeah.
and there's like
Yeah.
I'm just the life of the party, man, and I'm yeah.
He's your buddy that always had like the story that you're like, you're it's like, no, your dad didn't buy you an iLock. I know.
You said Mario Force coming out.
Yeah, no, you don't have NBA Jam 3. I know you don't. Like,
But
yeah,
he forgot it on the bus.
yeah, yeah. He's not allowed. He's not. You're not allowed to have it. He's got an uncle that works at Iguana.
Yeah.
but but yeah, it's. But then that's when he tells Pooh, like, no, that honey is for, like, that's for heffalumps and woozles. You mean elephants and weasels? Yeah, that's what I said. Heffalumps and woozles. Yes, I just recorded that entire line. But yeah, but then yeah, that's what they what do they do? Well, they want honey. They want to
Yes.
steal your honey, and that's leads Pooh into his bad trip, and he falls asleep when he well, I do like he gets his little cork gun.
Yeah, he has a little cork done. Yep. And his little stocking cap and
yes, yeah, his little. Yeah, I was gonna say it's like he's like Ebenezer Scrooge sleep cap.
yeah. And then he dreams the entire plot of Mario 2.
Yeah, yep, exactly. He fights Wart, throws
Yeah.
vegetables into his mouth, and and they're all good. Uh, Tigger is good because he has a higher jump, but
Yeah, right.
but
But Al's got the float, or Rue's got the float. Sorry.
yeah, Ryu's got the float, and Piglet is theoretically stronger, but there's not really any real proof to that, as
Yeah.
far as I can tell. It's like, and you don't really need strength. Like you're
No.
only digging a couple of times. So
I mean, if you find warps, like you really want Rue on like the ice level.
yeah,
Yeah. So.
okay, but
Doki Doki Punic.
there we go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, this is where you get the infamous heffalumps and woozles are very confusal.
Yeah.
Just absolutely, again, like just this one scene has two like iconic little musical bit numbers with the wonderful thing about Tiggers and heffalumps and woozles. Um, it's uh, it's great and
Yeah.
it's creepy, and I like I think the creepiest one for me is the elephants with the squeeze box noses. I don't know why
Yeah.
it's upsetting, but those are the ones that every time I see them, like, no, I don't like that. It makes sense. I think it's the sound that accompanies it. Like,
Well,
really,
it's the use of the accordion in the song in general that makes it
yeah,
kind of unnerving.
yeah,
It's like this weird like abandoned carnival feel to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It really is like it's like Scooby Doo music.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
um, but but yeah, he has this scary little dream. Gets the hot air balloon heffalump is also upsetting. Uh, but he wakes up and the rain came down, down, down.
Yeah.
Uh, Believe me, I live in Washington State, and it rains all the time. And every time it does, I start singing that song.
Right. Right.
um, but yeah, poor little Piglet.
Oh man.
You feel so bad for Piglet.
So
He's
well,
getting
I mean, also he gives up too easy. He gives up his home.
he doesn't twice technically in this
Yeah.
movie. Uh, yeah, so like yeah, he's getting when you first meet him, he's getting blown away by the wind. Now he's being washed out with the tide. You know, like he writes a little note, um, help piglet, and in parentheses me.
Yeah.
I don't know what that message is. Like,
Yeah.
why do you need? Why do you need to like?
Like, why are you writing the stutter? Well, you don't
Yeah,
have to write the
you
stutter.
don't have to write the stutter. Also, because you wrote the stutter, you don't have to write the me because they will
We
know.
know it's you.
We
We
know
know
it's
it's you,
you.
dog.
We know it's you, man. I like that he puts the me in parentheses. It's very it
Yeah.
hammers the point home that I am talking about me, Piglet, Piglet.
Source me. He sourced himself.
Yeah. Uh, dash 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 me dash 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 Ian Michael Scott.
The I was trying to think like the voice of Piglet, John Fielder, or I think
Yes.
it's. I just recently saw a movie with him in it. It was 12 Angry Men, and he kind of fits. This, he's like this very like nevish, kind of like unassuming,
Yeah.
nerdy character in pretty much everything he plays. And so like, oh, okay, he's perfect
Yeah.
for him. Yeah.
He's in a True Grit, right?
He might have been like the first thing I saw him in was actually Odd Couple.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first, I mean, I saw 12 Angry Men. He was one of the
Yeah.
characters in 12 Angry Men. I like, but like,
Oh
yeah.
my God.
What?
He did the voice of Namor in the Captain America Returns record album. Could you imagine that voice coming in Namor?
I Well, I know what I'm going to be hunting down.
Yeah, it's like Imperious Rex.
Yeah, yeah, definitely gonna have to hunt that down. And
Yeah.
he like kept doing Piglet's voice,
Yes, he
like
did.
until like up until his death.
Into the
Like
early 2000s, right? Yeah, early
because
2000s.
he died in 2005, and the um the piglet the no not the Piglet movie. because there was one after Piglet. Because obviously he did the Piglet movie, but there was one after that. And I can't. Oh, the Heffalump movie, the elephant one.
Right.
And that came out in the year he died.
I think he was in Emperor's New Groove too.
Oh, he was. He was
the old guy.
Yeah. Rudy. Yeah. Can't wait to talk about that one. That's gonna be a fun episode.
Yeah.
Howie, that's one of the
fun in quotation marks.
Yeah. Well, no, it's going to be very, very fun because there is a lot to that movie's production. That boy, yeah, that'll be an exciting episode. But yeah, so Piglet writes his little note, casts it out. Pooh saves his honeypots. That's you get the scene of Pooh. He saved 10. It was 10, right?
Yeah, but he's floating down the river or the stream with his head in the pot and his butt in the air.
Yep, that's perfectly viable strategy. Clearly,
just more Pooh butt this movie.
Yeah, they are really just focusing on that. It's because it's a big circle. It's less to animate.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So so all the characters gather around Christopher Robin's location, house, I guess, even though it's not his house.
His portal to his, but it's like almost like a baseball diamond or like a pitching mound or something.
Yeah. So they're all gathered there. And Rue finds the bottle with Piglet in it, and Owl goes off and finds Piglet. Owl finds Piglet. There's very little drama to this whole story.
He finds Piglet, but then is telling him a story.
Yeah, as they slowly approach a waterfall.
Like, could you not? Could you not, Al?
Yeah. But Pooh accidentally saves Piglet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in a very Pooh-like way. Just like, he's looking out for himself, and it just so happens to be advantageous to the other person. And so, yeah, Piglet is saved thanks to Pooh's honeypot. And Christopher Robin decides he needs to throw a hero's party for Pooh.
Which, okay.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, Al, you didn't do anything.
Well, he didn't. He just...
Okay, sure.
It's like Indiana Jones. The plot would have resolved itself if he never showed up.
Roof on the note.
Yeah.
But
again, Winnie the Pooh is who saved Piglet.
I guess. I'm just saying Chewie should get a medal too.
Yeah. Pooh just happened to be there with Piglet is what ended up saving him. Owl was just telling a story, and if Pooh wasn't there, Piglet would have just plummeted to his death. And Rue sending the bottle just created a bigger problem because they sent off Owl instead of a competent...
I get where you're coming from. I'm just saying, there's clearly bias in favor of Pooh.
So are you saying you want to give a medal to Owl, even though he was more than willing? He told Piglet to shut his mouth when he was telling a story as he was about to plummet over a waterfall.
Yes.
Okay.
But I mean, listen, the Pooh bias is very evident from Christopher Robin. I mean, he's just awarding 100 points at Gryffindor off the cuff, man. So we're gonna have a hero's party for Pooh.
Yeah, but he also is very willing to add Piglet on that when Piglet agrees to. Okay, we'll get there.
Let's just say it. Let's just say the horrible thing that happens here.
Yeah. So finally, after the party is happening and all that stuff, and then Eeyore finally makes his return. I found a house for Owl. We get there. It's Piglet's house. Nobody says anything.
Nope.
That I don't know what their motivation is to just immediately, it's like, oh yeah, nice house. Like they don't want to hurt Eeyore's feelings, but
it's Piglet's house.
It's Piglet's house. Like Christopher Robin is allowing this to happen.
Yeah, it's like
theoretically this is all happening in his imagination. So
still, It's like I was like, oh, but you know how Eeyore gets. Well, it's my house. Yeah, but you don't want to upset Eeyore, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what?
yeah.
No.
And because it says trespassers will, assuming
Mhm.
will be shot, but that part of
Yeah.
the sign is missing. So Eeyore sees WIL and thinks that's how you spell owl. So it's got his name on it. So it's his house.
But Pooh agrees to let Piglet move in with him.
Yes. Also, nothing comes of that story.
No.
Uh, because I also feel like by the time you get back to the characters, Piglet is back in his own house.
He's back in his own house.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's Owl just like, I'm gonna build a house.
Yeah, but anyways, Piglet gets included into the heroes party. Um, and then they do the thing that obviously Piglet would love the most, and do the hip hip hooray with the blanket, the
Yeah.
hurl them in the air. Which, yeah, obviously Piglet would love that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's historically known to like things like heights and fast
Yeah.
movement.
And constant shouting.
Yeah, and then just one more like get back in your hole to Gopher. It's
Yeah.
they're doing it directly over his hole, and he gets just conked right on the head, never to be seen again.
Christopher Robin doesn't really acknowledge Gopher in this whole movie, does he?
No,
No, he does, or does he? Yeah, okay.
well, he doesn't in the first part
Okay.
because he doesn't show up to save Pooh until the very
Right.
end, and Piglet knocks, or Rue pulls off Eeyore's tail and falls into the hole with Gopher and stuff. So he's at the back of the line with uh, Christopher Robin. So Christopher Robin never sees him
So
there. Christopher Robin would never see him here because they're just smack. They just, yeah. The only time he shows up is at this Gopher hole, and he doesn't. Does he? He doesn't show up in Tigger 2. So
yeah.
so yeah.
So basically, since this is all from Christopher Robin's imagination, Gopher is like DiCaprio's wife in Inception. Like, how did that pop in here?
Basically.
Yeah. Some said his top still spitting.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you got that, and then you go directly into the third and final short of Winnie the Pooh and Tigger 2.
Rabbit's a psychopath.
Yeah, Rabbit, absolutely just a murderer.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, more than happy to just let Tigger die in the woods, just so he doesn't get bothered by.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, what a
yeah,
jerk.
yeah, yeah. This I don't like this. Of the three, it's my least favorite.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not. I mean,
Yeah.
it's awful.
Yeah, because I don't think we're gonna do it beat by beat on this one because it's a very simple story of um, Tigger has been just bothering. Tigger's been bothering everybody. Nobody really likes it, but also they've got Stockholm syndrome with Tigger doing this.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean it's the whole honey pot thing and like more Pooh needing honey and
And Rabbit convinces Pooh and Piglet, like, hey,
yeah,
let's just take Tigger to a farm with other Tiggers and leave him there.
yeah. And then that's when the mist rolls in, the fog.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fog rolls in, and that's when an evil pirate will come out and
Yep.
murder the town.
Yep.
This is the John Carpenter segment of the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
And only a very chesty Adrian Barbeau can save us.
But yeah. So like Tigger and Rue go off into the woods together because because they're just bouncing. They're good at bouncing.
Yeah.
So they hang out. And
Yeah. Rue seems to be the person who, like, Rue loves Tigger.
yeah, because he's a child. I think a child would like somebody. It's like he's Rue's cool uncle He's the uncle. He's the uncle with the Camaro, or whatever.
Like, oh man, he lets me smoke at his house.
Yeah, yeah. Tigger let me have a sip of beer. It was cool.
Like, bro, you're 16 and he's 32.
Yeah.
He's not cool, man.
Yeah. Don't take the dirty magazine from him.
Yeah,
that's weird. Stop it. but yeah. So yeah, they're doing it. They learn how to ice skate.
yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, this is like, a babysitter segment kind of situation.
Right.
Yeah, it's Uncle Buck.
Okay, sure. Yeah. The part where just Tigger flips a giant pancake with like a.
Yeah. Plus, if this went on for about another 20 minutes, that probably would have ended up happening.
I mean, I could see Rue being like a Macaulay Culkin type character.
Yeah. It is Clint Howard. I mean.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Tigger does not like ice skating.
No.
He was very excited about it. Then he started doing it. It's like, oh, I hate this.
Yeah. I mean, he's like, I'm great at it. Then he does it like, oh no, I'm terrible. I hate it.
Yeah. Except he doesn't admit that he's terrible. He just hates it.
No.
because he would have gone pro.
Oh man, I blew my knee out.
Yeah, he blew his knee out and everything. So he's got that mentality to him.
His coach hated him as all.
Yeah. His coach hated. If he just got that scholarship,
Yeah. And he'd a full ride to Arizona State, but man, it's like last game of the season.
Yeah, catastrophic ACL. Yeah,
but don't ask anybody that he knows about it because they'll deny it. But they don't know. They don't know his life.
Anyways, Tigger, he gets himself into a tree. For no real reason other than the fact that he just jumps up into a tree.
But
extra jump, and then there he is in a tree.
But this is the part where you're really made aware this is a book, though.
Very, very much. The resolution to this situation. First of all, this also introduces. Before we get to the resolution, this introduces when Pooh and Piglet are following tracks.
Yeah.
Like just a couple of grade A morons following their own tracks.
Yep.
In a circle. It's like it's Metal Gear Solid 1 in the snowfield. You could just make the guards walk in a circle and follow your footprints.
Yeah. As they're going through like the hedge maze and like trying to like hide from Jack Torrance.
Yeah. But Pooh hears Tigger's howling and pronounces
hello.
Yeah, so he's like, it sounds like a jaguar.
Yeah.
Which it's like the Simpsons trampoline situation where it's all like I can only call jaguars.
Saxophone.
Yeah, saxophone, trampoline, jaguar.
Tobacco.
But so you get this whole he's stuck in a tree, and the narrator butts in.
Narrator
butts in and tells Tigger that he'll help him out.
Yep.
So the book rotates 90 degrees, putting Tigger, perpendicular with the words.
Yep.
So he can step down off the tree and stand on the words of the book, and then he just kind of tilts the page a little bit and he slides down the paragraphs.
Yep.
Very absolutely Deus Ex Machina to the umpteenth degree.
Yep, it's like he's like
a very literal Deus Ex Machina.
Like here's how you get a Mojo World, Tigger. You get a whole reset on the Genesis.
Yeah.
Close the DS and then
it's put your controller into port number 2 and Psycho Mantis can't
read your minds. Yeah.
And he also knows that you like Castlevania. So it's like the narrator fixed the problem. And there we go.
Yeah.
Freedom, sweet freedom. And then Tigger Uh, well, first of all, we didn't mention that before he was saved and was stuck in that tree, once they found him, Rabbit was like, "Well, all right, he's not going to come down, and we're not going to make him. Yeah, all right, we'll just leave him
And,
there."
and Rabbit gets lost.
Yeah, Rabbit gets lost.
It's sweet irony.
Yeah, but yeah, is more than willing to just let Tigger waste away in that tree. Uh, it's the motivation of a psychopath.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like, wow, all right, dude.
Yeah, I get he's annoying, but
Yeah, chill out.
murder?
Yeah, it's like it's. Do you remember that Weird Al Yankovic song with "I Remember Larry"?
Yes, yes, I do.
It's that song.
Yeah,
In literal sense.
yes, I do.
The singer of the song was completely irritated with his neighbor who kept. I said neighbor, right? Like it was, neighbor was constantly doing increasingly pranks until the singer of the song does the ultimate prank of killing him.
Yeah. Was that
Burying
off? That was off Bad Hair Day?
Bad Hair Day. Yep.
Yeah, that was off Bad Hair Day.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
So yeah. So, anyways, Tigger finally gets saved, and he's so happy. He's got to start bouncing, but Rabbit reminds him that for this Deus Ex Machina to take place for him to save him, he promised to never bounce again. And unfortunately, Rabbit was going to hold him to that.
Yep. And then everybody let's say, "Hey, Rabbit, you're being a jerk."
Yeah, I like to. And so Tigger just somberly walking away with his shoulders hunched over, sad look in his eyes, keeps turning around like, "Are you sure? Okay."
Yep. The Incredible Hulk in credits music's playing.
Yeah, just the piano music from the end of the Incredible Hulk is playing.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, until everyone just finally convinces Rabbit. Let the bro
let him
bounce,
man.
Just let it happen. Let him bounce.
Like that's his thing. He bounces and you're paying the butt. That's your thing.
Yeah, and so then he pounces, but then Rabbit's like, "All right." So he starts bounding, and convinces Rabbit to start jumping because I guess Rabbit never jumped in his life. Rabbit never jumped. And they're all so excited. Everyone starts jumping. Rabbit's doing his jumping. Tigger sings his song again. And close the book. Pan back out to the Christopher Robin's room. And here we are.
Yep. Now, does he pounce Rabbit here?
No.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he just throws Rabbit off the ropes and then runs the other side. Shoulder blocks him.
Wait, wait. Yes, no, he is pounced.
Yeah, he's just pounce, period.
Yeah. Yep. No, yeah, you're right. No, he was pounced. I'm thinking about the ending now.
Tigger is Monty Brown.
He is.
Yes.
Or, what was his?
Marcus Corvon.
That was
yeah.
Fine, we got a wrestling one in there.
It's better theme song than wrestler.
So yeah, that's the many adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
It's charming as hell.
It is. It's I love it. It's
me too.
It's so sweet and innocent. There is no like drama at all.
No, it's a good thing to watch if you're having a rough day.
Yeah, it's candy in movie form. It really is. Yeah. And it's just and it's so funny because this is one of the rare examples of like Disney where Winnie the Pooh as a concept is bigger than the movie itself.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I guess now we get to sort of the legacy of Winnie the Pooh because
strap in, people.
Strap in with this one. Well, I guess I'm trying to think if there's any production notes that I have that are particularly interesting because again, 3 different shorts came out at different times. It was originally going to be a feature film, but then it was like, these are better shorts. And so that's what they did. And yeah, there's just not a whole lot of like interests. You know what I mean? Like interesting stories because they
Right.
were shorts and there was very little drama with the shorts. It was typical production stuff. The movies are one thing, but um, like the most interesting stuff is like how some of these were sometimes released later on, like the first one, the Honey Tree,
Right.
was one of those. It premiered on TV in the 1970s on NBC,
Hmm.
where it was sponsored by Sears, but that's not an interesting story. I mean, that's just how TV was then, and it's not like
When Sears was a thing.
and Sears was a thing, and that's how it worked. And I'm trying to think if there's something. I feel like there was one story. I don't know. Wally Bogue.
Hmm.
He was like the original idea to be the voice of Tigger.
Really?
Yeah, I you know
I can't imagine
I can't. I'm trying.
that
Yeah,
Paul Winchell sound, that not coming out of Tigger's butt. I just can't.
yeah. But I mean, Wally Bogue. Yeah, I, I think they ended up like he was like a big part of Disney history and stuff.
Right.
He had a lot of theme park history and stuff too. But I think they said it was too much for kids, or like too wacky.
Oh, his
So
voice.
yeah,
He
so
was he was on Dastardly and Muttley, right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I like Wally Bogue.
Yeah.
He but he was different. He comes from a different era of you know Hollywood stage and stuff. Like um, what was he was sorry about
Golden Horseshoe Review.
Golden Horseshoe Review and
Yeah.
um, Jose in the Enchanted Tiki Room. That was the one I was thinking of. Um,
Let's see, what else was he on?
I just um, yeah, he was. There was something I
mm,
was thinking of.
let's see, he was in. Oh, actually, believe it or not, he was oh gosh, he was in one of the Herbie movies, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, but he was just like cameo roles and these
Yeah.
Herbie movies. Okay, that makes sense. I mean,
Well, it,
his legacy is the Golden Horseshoe Review.
yeah.
Uh, that was and it was like one of those weird things where uh, he did it for so long, like like record holding, like most consistent, uh, you know, 30,000 shows or something.
Good grief.
Yeah, like it's one of those crazy things. So
I think, yeah, I'm looking up something about him and said like he, he inspired Steve Martin.
yeah,
Perhaps maybe it was when Steve Martin was like selling magic tricks at
magic tricks
Disneyland.
and stuff. Yeah, or like
Yeah.
because he was a physical comedian, he was sort
Yeah.
of slapsticky and sort of yeah. It's like he had a stage presence. So him
So,
doing that stuff would have been weird for him to do like
well,
a voice of a ticket or whatever. So
his wiki said he recorded the voice for Tigger
he
for
did.
Blustery Day, and then they switched it to Paul Winchell. So, is there a cut out there of him doing like with him? It was his voice
I
instead of
mean,
Paul Winchell's.
obviously there has to be. I don't personally. If it's on the DVDs, I've never I've skipped past it every time. But
It'd be kind of weird to watch it.
it's like listening to that A Christmas Carol where it has
Yeah.
like, the characters being not quite right of like
Right.
of that record that we had of like the like not quite right Mickey Mouse and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like weird. But yeah, Winnie the Pooh. Um, we're just gonna focus strictly on um, Disney Winnie the Pooh
Right.
because there's been more Winnie the Pooh other than that.
Yeah.
Like in the early 50s, the late 50s, there was like an NBC produced Winnie the Pooh special thing and stuff like that.
Before Disney bought the rights, right?
Yeah. Um, but so with Disney, you have five theatrical shorts,
Right.
which include the three that are on here.
Mm-hmm.
Winnie the Pooh Discovers the Seasons,
Mm-hmm.
and the one that we were talking about on the before we start recording was the Winnie the Pooh and a Day for Eeyore, which
Right.
is the Eeyore's birthday and the sports one. Um,
Pooh Sticks.
Pooh Sticks, yes.
Yeah.
And Pooh Sticks was, or the Day for Eeyore, was originally released with the re-release of Sword and Stone.
Mm.
So, obviously, the re-release, because we've already talked about Sword and Stone. I don't know. Winnie the Pooh Discovers the Seasons. It was like an educational one. It wasn't like a theatrical thing. Like it came, like they re-released it with 101 Dalmatians or stuff. It was just.
I don't know if I've ever seen it. Have you?
Yes, it's okay. It's a very simple. Christopher Robin gives Pooh a calendar. That's
okay.
The story, and you learn about the seasons that way and what the seasons are. It's like 7 minutes long. It's not long. It's just a little tiny thing. This is specifically just for educational purposes in 1981. Yeah. And then you have theatrical movies. You got a bunch of theatrical movies where they're sequels. Very much so.
Yeah.
One of them is a direct sequel that we will be covering later on this show. But there were other ones that were done from other studios. In 2000, so obviously 1977, this one you have The Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And then in 2000, you had a Tigger movie. In 2003, you had Piglet's Big Movie.
Right.
In 2005, you had Pooh's Heffalump movie. 2011 was the Winnie the Pooh, which is a sequel. It is a Disney mainline. We will be covering it on a deep future episode of this particular run of this podcast, and it follows the same heart as Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, where it's like smaller, shorter, little contained stories taking place in a book. There's a lot of, the book gets involved, in the story kind of thing. And then you have, just last year, you had the live action Christopher Robin.
Christopher Robin movie, yeah. That movie made me cry.
It's very syrupy, but in a good way. Like it's very, its heart is in the right place, and it's very clearly geared towards our age group that grew up watching these. Like it makes you, because like it wants your Ewan McGregor's character. You're Ewan McGregor's Christopher Robin. You're older. You remember Winnie the Pooh, but you don't actively interact with Winnie the Pooh anymore as an adult kind of thing, for the most part. I do. But your typical adult, it's much more geared towards adult audiences. Like the first 10 minutes shows Christopher Robin going to war.
Yeah. It's like you really don't like him at the beginning of the movie.
Oh no, Christopher Robin is kind of an insufferable character until he starts having a mental breakdown in this movie and starts playing along with all of this.
So JJ.
Yeah.
I was reminded of something that Winnie the Pooh appeared in.
Oh yeah.
It's not canon. I don't count it as canon, but how we had our crazy, wacky theories with the Robin Hood episode last week?
Yeah.
Do you remember Winnie the Pooh making an appearance in Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue?
I do. Nice classic 80s
anti-drug.
Rent it for free from the video store.
Your teacher showed it to you in class because they had to.
Yeah, it's featuring the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Alf,
Garfield,
the Smurfs, or whatever, the Snorts.
But not all the Ninja Turtles. Like 2 of them.
Yeah. No, it could only afford. It could only afford a couple of Ninja
Turtles. Yeah. The possibilities there, my friend.
Yeah. This is part of our timeline that we're gonna really hammer out one day. We're gonna do the timeline and figure out where Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue would fall into our Zelda-like timeline, but
Yeah.
which arm of the timeline?
I mean, Cartoon All Stars to the Rescue is like the Super Smash Brothers ultimate of
Yeah, everyone is here.
everyone's in it. You're gonna
Uh,
watch it for 100 hours to unlock Gordon Shumway.
like, look, I would be there. I would do the 100 hours. I can
Just
Disney Compendium, season 8.
yeah,
Over Disney, just Alf.
just Al. Okay, cool.
Does Fox own it? We might be able to work this in.
Well, they might. I don't know. Like it was filmed. I don't know. I'll do research off the air. Sorry.
So we also have TV. Winnie the Pooh
Right.
had an extensive TV career.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Welcome to Pooh Corner.
Yeah. The Kitty Loggett song, people.
Yes. That's a very good song, too, by the way.
It is a good song.
It's actually a really good song.
It's probably Kitty Loggett's maybe third best song.
Yeah. I would agree with that 100%. That aired from 83 to 86.
Mm-hmm.
The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was from 88 to 91.
Yep. I remember that one very well.
The Book of Pooh, which is 2001 to 2003. My Friends Tigger and Pooh, which ran from 2007 to 2010. And The Mini Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
The Mini Adventures.
2011 to 2014. And there was also there's like the puppet one too, wasn't there?
Yeah. JJ, we're also forgetting about, remember the Tao of Pooh? The book, The Tao of Pooh.
Yes, of course. Well, if we're getting into the books, then
no, but there's a lot of Pooh.
That's a whole lot of Pooh. Yeah,
got a whole lot of Pooh.
There was holiday specials. Obviously.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh and Christmas 2, Boo to You, Winnie the Pooh,
Yep.
Winnie the Pooh Thanksgiving, and A Valentine for You.
Yeah.
Those are I very much remember Winnie the Pooh and Christmas 2 and Boo to You, Winnie the Pooh. I remember those ones very much. I don't think I'm certain I never saw the Valentine's one. That was later. That was 1990.
I don't know that I've seen it.
Yeah. Thanksgiving one, I feel like it was on TV at some point.
It must have been. It was probably like when they used to air like the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special. I think it aired around then. Yeah.
And there was also just an epic ton of like just straight to video.
Yeah.
Winnie the Pooh stuff, like Pooh's Grand Adventure, where they had to look for Christopher Robin. The Seasons of Giving, which included the Thanksgiving one. Very Merry Pooh Year, Book of Pooh, Springtime with Roo, Pooh's Heffalump Halloween movie, Super Sleuth Christmas movie, Tigger and Pooh and Musical 2, and Super Duper Super Sleuths.
When you said Winnie the Pooh Seasons of Giving, as soon as you said seasons, I'm like, I thought Winnie the Pooh Season of the Witch.
Season of the Witch. Winnie the Pooh 3, Season of the Witch.
The honey pot comes off and just like just maggots.
And then video games.
Winnie the Pooh Home Run Derby.
Get it now on your Android device.
Yep. Your jailbroken iPhone 4. Get it now.
Winnie the Pooh's a funny one because there was like you would think there would have been an NES and Super NES games or Sega Genesis games or whatever for Winnie the Pooh, but nope.
Yep.
There was an early game from Sierra that was on like the Commodore 64 and like the Apple II and DOS. There was a Pico game. I don't know if you remember the Sega Pico.
Oh yeah, I if you recall correctly, in an early episode, I referenced the Pico as a system. You're like, dude, every Disney property had a Pico game.
Yes, it's true. I was just at a local retro game store, and they had like a still in its box Sega Pico for like $50, and
you thought about it hard.
I genuinely was like, man, I could own a Pico. I could
What
be the
kind
guy that owns. I could be the guy that owns a Pico.
I could just put it right next to my U-Draw tablet.
Yeah, it's like I have a Sega. I have like a Sega CD. What's the difference between a Pico and a Sega CD? Like,
One people bought, the other one they not so much.
well, as I say, nope. Nice try, but nope.
Yes.
Lots of computer games. There's tons of like. That's because PC stuff is easy for children because it's just like it's a mouse, click things, and it just does stuff. It's like here, have you know, Pooh, but number munchers or something. It's just
Yeah. I'm sure he's like a lot of like a lot of those like educational games. Yeah.
yeah,
Like Sticky Bear.
yeah.
Poop
The first,
and teaches typing.
like legit like because like the 100 Acre Wood game
Right.
for the Amiga and stuff was just it was like an adventure game kind of thing. But like the first like legit like real game, there was a PlayStation, Nintendo 64, Windows, Game Boy game that was Tigger's Honey Hunt.
Mm-hmm.
Hunt and yeah, 3D, that era of kind of not so great 3D children's platforming game.
Right.
um,
I'm almost positive, and I don't want to like even look this up because I'm pretty sure it's the case. Is like I want to say there was like a Tiger LCD game of Winnie the Pooh.
I mean, again, it's just if there was a Sega Pico version of
There's a Tiger LCD.
There's a Tiger's LCD game of like
There's
Disney Plus. You can get if there's a Little Mermaid one, there's definitely
there's a Tiger LCD game of this podcast.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's just it's basically the same thing as the. I was trying to think of like the goofiest, it's like the Independence Day one, but it's
it's Paperboy. It's just Paperboy.
yeah, but yeah, I mean, just so many like Pooh and Tigger's Honey Safari, the Rumbly Tumbly Adventures, Piglet's Big Game to go with the Piglet movie. There's a metric ton of children's games for cell phones and Game Boys and PlayStations and GameCube and PS2 and PS1 and like DS had a Japanese game.
And then not counting like the games that Pooh just makes an appearance of that aren't mainline Pooh games. Like obviously Kingdom Hearts, but then also like the magical. What was a 3DS game? The Mickey Magical Quest game, where it was. Yeah. There's a pretty extensive 100-acre wood level in that game.
Yeah.
So,
but
Winnie the Pooh cross tag battle.
Yeah.
I was telling JG off the air that I remember seeing Winnie the Pooh as a playable character in a Mugen video.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Mugen is just sort of this open fighting game where you can just sort of create and put in any character
asset you want.
Yeah, you just put assets in there and just like, okay, now you can fight as Joey Tribbiani from Friends versus Winnie the Pooh, or James Bond versus Mai from King of Fighters or something.
It pretty much runs off the Third Strike engine, doesn't it? Or maybe Marvel 2.
Probably. It's been a while since I never really got into Mugen, so I feel like it's probably like Marvel, but there's gonna be one person that finds this like, oh, those email.
They don't know anything. Stupid normies.
Do you remember this? Do you remember when when Winnie the Pooh is like banned from China?
Oh, because the joke is he resembles President G.
Yeah. Looks like Winnie the Pooh, and I'm not wrong.
He resembles President 11 because it's XI, so I was like, he's President 11.
Yeah. it's like the Weapon X program.
Yep.
They
Yep.
just keep making presidents in a lab somewhere, in a Canadian
Yeah.
lab somewhere.
Heinz, get us a new president.
Yeah, like it's like to the extreme too. It's like it, Christopher Robin was banned in China simply because the president's feelings were hurt. You know?
To be fair, a lot of things are banned in China.
Yeah, but they tend to like movies because they make $1 billion.
Yeah.
You know, Iron Man 2, they comes over there and it's like this is like the highest grossing movie of all time. There's $42 billion.
Good God.
Or whatever. It's like they did that with Iron Man 3, where they filmed extra footage for it for the Chinese release.
Because the Mandarin.
No, but like because like the doctor that does the heart surgery on him
Oh, okay.
is a Chinese doctor, and they like expand upon that part and make it a bigger deal, and there's like a bigger like yeah.
Wait a minute. Like, even though he's clearly like Arab in the first movie?
Look, shut up.
Okay.
But yeah,
Hey.
but yeah, and also, so yeah, boy, just so much Winnie the Pooh stuff, and the theme park. I mean, it's everywhere. Um, you have the actual ride. There's the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh,
Mm-hmm.
which I have a love-hate relationship with. It's not a great ride. It's kind of a cheap, dark ride.
It's for kid. It's a kid's ride.
It's like I would probably enjoy its existence more if it didn't get rid of the country bears.
Yeah, I mean,
I genuinely love the country bears, and it being not being there anymore bums me out still. Like that was one of my first stops when I went to Disney World for the first time. They still had the Country Bear Jamboree there, and so I was very excited to go see the Country Bear Jamboree again.
like I have a bear preference, and it's not you, Winnie.
Yeah, well, yeah. In the theme park, I would much rather visit Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
get my picture taken with him, than sit through this 4-minute retelling of it. But again, it's for kids.
Oh man! By the way, if you go to Disneyland, I don't know how it is at Disney World, but I can tell you from experience at Disneyland, if you want your picture taken with Pooh, you better be observant,
Yeah,
because the Pooh line is long.
yes, very much, always.
It's always like these college age girls who are like really want the Pooh picture.
one of my favorite pictures of my mom is a picture of her with Tigger, and it's like she's never been particularly one to smile for pictures, but there's a grinning ear to ear picture with Tigger, and it is such a great picture.
So, folks, there's a chance JJ and I are going to probably hang out at Disneyland about a month and a half from now.
Yeah,
I think we should be our mission to like track down Pooh.
Just we'll post a picture of me and you with a picture with Pooh. Me and you and Piglet too.
Yeah, but dressed like college age girls. Just our sorority hoodies, but like really super short shorts.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how. The Winnie the Pooh ride has a fun little thing where the singing busts, the mounted heads of Buff and all of them are still in the ride, like, but they're behind you, so like you won't see them unless you turn around while in the ride and look behind you. But they're still there. They're in there as a reminder of better days.
You're not bitter about it. It's okay.
No.
Not at all.
They closed the ride before the movie came out. That's how much confidence they had in that movie.
Yeah, I know. It's okay, JJ. It'll be all right. You can shake your fist at California Adventure next month.
I'm gonna shake I'm gonna just shake my fist at Michael Eisner. Flame him.
Who's this guy? Welcome to Wonderful Disney. We got movies.
Just watched a really good. If anyone wants to watch very, very good like theme park documentaries, there's a YouTube series called Defunct Land, and it's phenomenal. And the season 2 finale just went up, and it is about the sort of failure of Hong Kong Disneyland. It's still there. Hong Kong Disneyland's still there, but like Disney Paris, it had a very bad, like, out the gate kind of thing, and it covers a lot of the Michael Eisner like era of I want it good, but I also don't want to spend a lot for it. So
Yeah.
so cut as many corners as you can, and it's a really good little documentary series. And,
If you cut every corner.
but yeah, there's lots of Pooh stuff.
There's more Pooh that you can shake a stick at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I really love that Winnie the Pooh is just this thing, this permanent. It is pop culture, but like it hasn't been diluted in any way, shape, or form.
No, and it's crazy because there's so much of it, and people are like, people still genuinely love Pooh.
Yeah, it's because like there's always a new Pooh for your generation.
Yeah.
Because like we grew up with Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
And there were TV shows, and kids were growing up on the TV shows, and TV shows are perfectly fine children's fare. Just like how Winnie the Pooh is, Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh is a perfectly fine children's movie. It's zero calories. It's just sweet. It's got a good sort of like heart to it. There's a very vague. The moral of the story is be nice to your friends.
Yeah, be nice.
Be nice to your friends. Let bygones be bygones. Whatever. It's just
it has a good sense of community to it.
Yeah, and that's what the TV series were that way. It's like it may not be something that we watched, especially some of the newer ones, but it's not for us. And
no,
but
that's okay.
But in like 20 years, when somebody else is doing a podcast about Disney stuff, they'll be talking about the Disney stuff they grew up on, like the more current, recent 2000 whatever Winnie the Pooh series, and how much they loved that show growing up as a kid, and they'll still love it because nothing changed about it. Only you have, because all the Winnie the Pooh is effectively the same. Like even the sequel that recently came out a handful of years ago, that we're going to cover, the 2011 sequel. It's still Winnie the Pooh. It's almost the same movie in a way as Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Just different. Like the stories are different, but the movie itself is exactly the same kind of movie. And so it's like there's nothing to dilute because it's just like this concentrated like sweetness, So it's, what we liked is different than what somebody else is going to like, but there's always going to be a Winnie the Pooh for a child out there, and it's always going to be your favorite version of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. And the thing about Pooh, and I think what makes the character and the cartoons so endearing is it gets passed down from parents to children. Like, when I was first born, and my mom has it somewhere, but I had a little wind up Winnie the Pooh. Yeah. I mean, I was a baby. I was probably like 2 or 3 months old, and it played the Winnie the Pooh theme, and I would listen to it at night. I put my head on his chest because I like the little motor turning, and it played the ding, 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 ding. And I was, this is probably 3 years after this movie came out.
Yeah.
So it says a lot,
I like, one of the, as a baby, I had the plush Winnie the Pooh from the movies, a little plush bear with a red T-shirt on it.
Right.
It's just, there's a Winnie the Pooh for every generation, and there's always going to be a Winnie the Pooh for every generation. And whether it be this one, like, you'll make your kids watch Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, or, some kids grew up on some of the later TV shows. Some of them are going to have watched the sequel that came out a handful of years ago. Like the Christopher Robin movie is clearly, it's a kid's movie, but it's for us. But it's clearly designed with, like, you grew up with Winnie the Pooh, so did Christopher Robin grew up this way too. So, like, I know some things suck now, but, sometimes you have to think about, what happened, where you came from, what's, think about the happiness that you had. You may, things may suck right now, but there's always something that you can look at,
Yeah. I mean, even the Christopher Robin movie, like, even though it has a more adult theme and it's more serious, the nature of Pooh the character doesn't change.
Hasn't changed one bit.
No.
Yeah, and like that movie made me genuinely like laugh a couple of times because there's some really cute, like simple Winnie the Pooh style jokes. So that movie, it received mixed reactions, reception, but
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it. And I highly recommend it. It's on, as we're recording this podcast,
Netflix.
It's currently on Netflix, but that won't be for much longer since the Disney Plus stuff is coming up and all that stuff.
So if you don't watch it now, watch it in about 5 or 6 months when it's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, like not to date the episode, but we're totally dating the episode.
Yes.
But love Winnie the Pooh. Always will, always have. It's one of those things where you think about it, it's like it's probably one of the first pieces of like media I probably was like. I wouldn't be surprised if it was like one of the first things that my parents would have played for me or something. You know what I mean? Like because of how innocent it is. So
it's like you feel safe with your child like sitting down and watching Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah. Are you ready to rank it? Are you ready to rank it?
Oh yeah, let's rank this puppy.
All right, Nick. We'll start with your list as we always do.
Okay.
Right. Nick, do you like this more or less than Robin Hood?
I do not like it more than Robin Hood.
Do you like it more or less than Jungle Book?
Less than Jungle Book.
More or less than The Sword in the Stone?
Less than Sword in the Stone.
More or less than Dumbo?
I like it more than Dumbo.
More than Dumbo. Nick, this is your number 4 movie now.
That's a good spot for it.
That's a good spot for it. I agree. Let's see. So we'll go to my list. So number 1 on my list, surprising Nick when it happened, but here it
Jungle
is.
Book.
Jungle Book. Number 2 is Fantasia. I do like Fantasia more than Winnie the Pooh. Number 3 is Cinderella. That seems weird to me. I don't I feel like I missed something there, but I guess. But Winnie the Pooh is my number 3.
Yeah, I kind of went in knowing that you would rank this really high.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely one of my favorite. And it's probably gonna. There's a very good chance that it's gonna just cling to this top 5 for a very long time.
We have a interesting period coming up.
A very, very interesting period coming up. But, it's going to be a hit or a miss coming forward. Nothing's going to be as bad as the 40s ever again.
I mean, it gets close.
It gets close. And, and I say that, but boy, the 2000s is a dark time. And it's maybe tie the 40s. We'll see when we get there, because there's a couple of those movies I haven't seen in a very long time. So maybe
there's a lot of movies I've never seen ever. So
maybe time has been kind to them. We'll see. But that's quite a ways away. We just finished number 22 of The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. Next week is an interesting one because it also came out in the exact same year. This came out in March of 1977, and the next movie came out in June of 1977. So just months away. It's The Rescuers.
Yeah.
A classic British novel series from the 60s, I think.
Yeah, I think
so. They're still pretty contemporary when they came out. Also, next week's episode also ties in because the re-release of The Rescuers in 1983 was released with Mickey's Christmas Carol, which we've already done an episode on.
Very special episode.
The Disney Compendium Annex number 1 is A Christmas Carol.
It'll be fun next week because I feel like Rescuers gets overlooked quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's like Rescuers and Great Mouse Detective are kind of in that little.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
just to put it in perspective, here's our next handful of movies. Like
Hmm.
we've got The Rescuers this week, or next week, Fox and the Hound after that, Black Cauldron after that, Great Mouse Detective after that, and Oliver and Company after that.
Yeah.
So that's going to round out a very specific time in Disney history because, like, you know how we sort of broke it up. So we broke it up with a from when we got to the Walt era, end of the Walt era, and so with that we took a little break because we sort of feel like, okay, this is the breaking point. This is where things shift. So we took a break out of our typical recording uh, times and did a different episode to sort of break them up.
We did a
After all,
Poppins
yeah,
episode. Yeah.
yeah, the Poppins episode. After Oliver and Company is where you go into the next era of Disney stuff. Like
Yeah.
89 forward goes into a completely different era of Disney stuff. So it's interesting. It's going to be very interesting once we get to um, Eisner,
Yeah.
um, because it's not bad out the gate because um, Eisner Eisner had help at this time, and so uh, early Eisner stuff was in Disney was good.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing, but eventually he loses. Once Frank Wells dies, uh, he sort of loses the plot. So,
JJ's itching to talk about Katzenberg.
oh, it'll be fun. That'll be
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, so Eisner took over Disney in '84. So we're coming up
Right.
real quick,
It,
because the Black Cauldron will be the first Eisner era released Disney movie. So we're only a couple episodes away from this at this point.
which is going to be, boy, that's going to be interesting because that movie is nothing if not derisive.
Very much. When I started uh, sort of laying the groundwork for this show, I asked people, like, what's your favorite Disney movie? More than one person said The Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
I was like, really? Wow. It's a weird movie. People that we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah.
That's the
You're like, I thought I knew you, man.
yeah, that's the catchphrase of this. We'll get to it when we get to it. But
Yeah.
next week is The Rescuers. Very excited to watch The Rescuers again. It has been that long, but it's been high school. So
It's probably been about that. Oh God.
yeah,
I'd say good 20 years for me.
yeah,
Yeah.
probably 15 years for me. So I've probably seen The Rescuers Down Under more.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I just think because it was a highly publicized release on VHS, and I think, and McDonald's toys and things.
Yes.
So.
Which we'll talk about.
Oh yeah,
We will
oh yeah,
talk.
we're getting
I,
into that. We're getting to
it's a
that perfect era of
merch.
Disney merch. Yeah,
So Rescuers Down Under for you is like how I am with like Five Will Goes West, where I've seen it more time than American Tail.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's next week.
That's
We get
next
to
week.
talk about The Rescuers next week, and I can't wait. So join us. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. A little more. I don't know. It seems like we tend to talk more when we're happy about stuff.
Yeah.
This makes us happy, and I tend to lose track of my thoughts because I'm just thinking about Winnie the Pooh stuff. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Go watch Smoking the Bandit. Enjoy it.
yeah,
So,
enjoy Smokey and the Bandit. I give Smokey and
Alfred
the Bandit 4 out of 5.
Alfred Hitchcock's favorite movie, by the way.
It does not surprise me in this.
Honest to God, that's the truth. He says favorite movie ever.
I'm just now picturing the numerous driving scenes from Vertigo, like where he's like tailing her. But he's in a Trans Am.
I just imagine like Hitchcock sitting in a theater watching Smokey the Bandit just cracking up. Oh ho 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 ho
Picture,
ho.
picture Hitchcock singing Eastbound and Down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and because he did it. If that's
Yeah.
your favorite movie of all time.
Load it up and truck it.
Oh man, yeah. But yeah. So uh, next week we'll be talking exclusively about Gator.
Yep.
And
Yeah, sure.
so
Joy our Stroker Ace cast.
Sugar Ace Cast will be coming with you every week with another Burt Reynolds classic.
Yeah.
But I can't wait till we get to Boogie Nights. So
Well, I mean, JJ, we're still in like the Longest Yard era. Come on now.
yeah, no, I know it's
Yeah,
gonna be a while, but we'll get there. I'm excited.
we'll get,
I'm saying.
yeah.
but until then, uh, I completely lost track. You've completely
Until then, keep it eastbound and down.
keep it eastbound and down. Keep on trucking.
Yeah.
Load it up and trucking, and
Keep the shiny side up. Keep the greasy side down.
have a magical day.
Bye.